Hey guys, in this video I want to do a review for you of Doreen Virtue and Radleigh Valentine's, now soon to be only Radleigh Valentine's, Angel Tarot cards. Okay, so there's a lot of controversy surrounding this deck right now, and maybe that's part of the reason I decided to pull it out and share it with you. It's been around for a real long time, but there's been some question about Doreen Virtue. So regardless of what you think about Doreen, or her path in life, and let's just allow her that, please. I want to share with you my experience with this deck because this is the deck that got me started into tarot. This is the deck that was gifted to me by a friend, and when I first got it, it made tarot approachable for me. I didn't really know anything else about tarot, so this really helped to bridge my experience from just kind of a religious background to this new agey approach to, I guess, angels, okay, and a religious background. So she really helped to bridge one way, and now I hope she'll be able to help people bridge the other, but I'm not quite sure. Okay, so the Angel Tarot actually I think is it's a good starter deck, and it's actually remarkably insightful. I think it surprised me. So let me just start with the basics that I usually do. I want to share with you the box, okay? Really sturdy two-piece box, which is fantastic. Has really protected the cards for a long time. It does come with a pretty substantial, like all Hay House, little white book, okay? And it has a great, there's a great depth of meanings in here as well, and pictures of each one of the cards on the top, and then a little description, which is great. Now, I find the cards to be huge, difficult to shuffle. I mean, it's almost hard to hold in my hands. You can kind of see that. They are very rigid, very, very rigid. They used to be, I don't know if you can still see it, might have been loved. Guys, mine have been loved. I use this deck a lot. Silver foil on the edges, okay? Now you can see mine are beat up because they've been used over and over again. And it's based in the Rider Waite system. However, let me show you a little bit about what's different on some of these cards. Major Arcana, you're going to find archangels. Archangel Uriel here is an example of the Sun card. Now you can see right off the bat, the image is a vast departure from what we know in Pixie's deck, isn't it? It's very, very different than what we're used to seeing. One of the things I don't enjoy about the deck is I do not find the images to be intuitive to me personally, okay? I don't know that much about the angels, so this doesn't really mean a whole lot to me. Now, there's a phenomenal book that comes with the deck, or not, doesn't come with the deck, excuse me, that you can get to go with the deck, is the Big Book of Angel Tarot. If you're going to delve into this deck, I highly recommend this book. I really do. It has so much great information in it. I want to get back to that in just a minute. Okay, so to me, this doesn't really say a whole lot. It's an angel up on a pedestal with some sunflowers and butterflies. Now, sunflowers is the same thing we find in the Rider Waite. I don't think there's butterflies in Pixie's version, no. And we usually have the baby on a horse with the big flag or whatever. So this to me is a complete departure visually. It's stunning. I think the images are visually stunning. However, intuitively, they don't cut it for me. So this is not a deck that I find is easy to read if you're an intuitive reader and you want to find symbology that really resonates with you. In addition, I find that the images are busy and they're real difficult to separate out. So when you have a whole bunch of them in a reading, it's kind of difficult to tell what's going on. There's no particular action that just kind of comes out at you, okay? Like even this Five of Air, it's 5 unicorns. And she did, the suits are air, earth, fire, water. Which is great. It associates to the suits the way that I am used to doing it. So air is swords, water is cups, fire is wands, and earth is pentacles. What I do like about the deck, what I did like about the deck when I first started reading with it, was the colors. So you have, let's see, fire is all done in this kind of beautiful burgundy red. Air, whoops, is in this blue. Let me show you. Water is in more of a kind of turquoise color, earth in the green, okay? And then your majors. Now here's another issue I have with the deck I want to share with you. The majors are in an indigo, but it's real close to the air color of blue. But when you go and you have these in a reading, let me show you because I've got them all kind of lined up here. You see all the different colors? So it is nice that you can see if you have a predominance of air, earth, fire, water, okay, in your reading. So that's the thing I do like about the deck. Here's another thing I love about this deck. When you're first starting out, you just don't always know what's going on in the images, right? In Rider Waite Smith, it takes a little time to get there. And so what most of us will do is we'll go and we'll refer back to the book, Now, the Angel Tarot cards, you can refer to the messages right on the bottom here. And here's what I'm going to tell you. I found when I first started reading that these were eerily accurate for me. I don't know how she's done this. I don't know how Radleigh Valentine has done this, but these messages, again, are almost always accurate for me, even eerily so. So I loved being able to give readings with these cards because of that reason, especially even as a new person. You did feel like you were, and I felt like I was offering value to people, even though I wasn't versed in the Rider Waite Smith system or tarot. Okay, this was more of an oracle card feeling with the messages written on the bottom, but it always gave me really great readings. So now let me give you an example of something that's written on the bottom. This one is the 9 of Fire. Again, you can see a little bit a nod to the Rider Waite, where she's got the wand and then you've got the whole dragon behind her. So a little bit of a defending what she's worked on. And here's what it says. Don't give up. Protect that which you've created. Have courage and believe in yourself. So really nice messaging, really easy for people to understand. And I got to tell you, if you have folks that you're reading for who are not really, are afraid of tarot, okay, they're afraid of the images, they're afraid of the devil, the tower, death, this is a really great deck to work with for them because it's really approachable. Here's another one, Unity instead of the Hierophant. So she's renamed some of these. Instead of Judgment, we have Renewal. Instead of Death, oh, what did she choose for death? Gosh, it's been so long since I used this. Oh my gosh, okay, instead of the Devil, we have Ego. Now this is interesting, okay? So ego is an interesting way to look at this. I do like that this gentleman is wearing a mask, like the mask of ego. It says a false sense of entrapment, being overly focused on material things, negative or fear-based thoughts. So, I mean, that's a pretty good overview of a traditional meaning for the Rider Waite Smith. But softer in its presentation, this makes it easier for people to absorb and understand if they're fearful of the traditional images. So let's please recognize Doreen and Radleigh for the beautiful job that they've done in putting this together. So this is a deck I really like. Instead of Hanged Man, we have Awakening. I think that's beautiful, really interesting. Again, easy to understand. Instead of Temperance, we have Balance. Again, though, the angels. I personally don't feel the art. Okay, that doesn't mean that you won't. It means personally I didn't. I love it. It's beautiful to look at. But let me show you. I'm going to show you a spread when as part of this review. It's hard to read these things as you get them all together, for sure. Empress. Okay, so and she's got the numbers on the top of the major arcana. You can see there, and then of course, you know, everything else is written out at the top. King of Fire. Here's another thing on her court cards that she did, or they did. I should say they. I'm sorry, that they did. What is it? Motivational, idealistic, ambitious, charismatic. So it made the court cards really approachable too for a starter. Gotta tell ya, not such a bad deal. Okay, so there you have the Angel Tarot. I'll do a reading for you so you can just kind of see how they work. They really are, they are beautiful. They're sturdy. They're not too bad to shuffle, although they're a little bit big. But this big book of Angel Tarot I want to share with you too. If you're at all interested, let me tell you, this really helped me when I first started out, because in each of the, for each of the cards, she's got a picture of the card and she's got her description. Excuse me. Oh, I'm so sorry. I keep doing this as if it's just Doreen, and that's not even fair because she's not even on there named on the cards anymore. They're taking her off of everything because she's no longer resonates with tarot, and that's fine. So I should say Radleigh Valentine, and give him props because that man's incredible. Okay, so we have the 3 of Water, which would be the 3 of Cups. And here's a couple of things that you get. You're going to get the symbology, okay, symbolism of what's going on, which is nice. She talks about the dolphins swimming in the ocean. And so 3 of Cups, dolphins have a very strong connection to those in their groups. For this reason, they represent happy communities. Very 3 of Cups that we're familiar with in the Rider Waite. 3 cups full of water sit together on the ocean's floor. They represent the contents of our emotional inner lives. And by placing the cups together, the dolphins have shown their desire to have a shared experience. Again, that sense of community, which is beautiful. It's beautifully written. It's beautifully described. And it really makes reading very simple. Is it impressive when you go and you read and you open up the book? No, 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 no. But let me tell you something. When you're first starting out, if you're doing email readings and you're writing things out, this is a great book in terms of reference for this deck. Okay, for this deck, not for every other deck, but for this particular deck. And it's one that made me feel very comfortable and confident getting out there and sharing this talent, and people really appreciated the reading. So I'm gonna throw that out there as a possibility, folks. She also gives the angel number, which she considers the angel number. So this is a card number 39, which asks us to be in service to others, seek out our life purpose, begin fulfilling it immediately, so that we may have a joy of celebration in our lives every day. And then there is a little blurb on the astrology of the card as outlined by Radleigh Valentine. Okay, Mercury in Cancer, it's an energy that tends to communicate with great feeling. And even though it's most often thought of as the mental aspect in astrology, the deeply feeling Cancer softens the temptation to intellectualize everything when it might be best to feel its way through things. So, I mean, this is it's a phenomenal book as a companion to this particular deck, okay? But like I said, it does come with the regular little white book, and this is going to give you plenty. The messages are written right on the front of the deck, so if you're a beginner, and it does give the interpretations that I think fit very well with Waite Smith deck. So it can be a great way to learn if you wanted to do flashcards. However, the imagery is going to be real far off for you. But it's also a nice way to get to know how the elements react, because she does fire, earth, air, and water. Okay, so let me just do a reading with you. Let's see, what does the Angel Tarot want for us to know? It is a little hard to shuffle. This is funny, guys. This is funny, okay? This is what the Angel Tarot wants us to know, and I'm thinking about itself, okay? Because sometimes it gets a bad rap, and I get that, because some of us are real purists about what tarot decks we work with and what is okay in the community and what is not. And a lot of times people frown on the Angel Tarot. I'm telling you, please don't frown on the Angel Tarot. Give it a chance. I'll do one on the Fairy Tarot too, because I think that's really fun. It gives us the 4 of Water. You are missing an opportunity, discontentment, or boredom. Open your eyes to the possibilities, please. This is what the Angel Tarot wants you to know, okay? Do you see how it just cuts to the chase? And yet it does it in a really beautiful way where it can share this message. So I'm going to do one more reading for you so you can actually see it laid out, see what the tarot looks like and how you might read with it for yourself or for your clients, okay? But for right now, if you're done and you don't want to stay for the reading, you don't have to. Get the Angel Tarot. Real interesting, okay? See you in a minute. Okay, and now I'm back with the reading for the Angel Tarot. And first off, I just want you to notice how I think challenging it is to read the images. If you're an intuitive reader, I don't think anything really pops out from the cards, okay, to give you much to go on. You know, maybe swirls, colors, everything has either wings or fishtails or unicorns, that kind of thing. So that part is very challenging. This is a deck that you're just going to have to take a moment to see what you've got and do your interpretations that way. If you're just looking at it, you've got all the statements listed here, okay? What I do like is you can see very quickly in this very short reading I have that you've got 2 earth cards, 2 water cards, and a major arcana. So I think we got a little mud going on here, water and earth, as it relates to releasing our thoughts about the Angel Tarot. So let's just start with that. It has always been very accurate. So I just kind of asked what was going on with the tarot community right now, certainly as it relates to this. And we got the Queen of Earth Now, I'll read for you here. It says, make time for those around you, take a sensible approach, deal with challenges in a kind and understanding manner. So I do think we are trying to understand what's going on with the transition as Radleigh takes over full ownership of this particular deck, and Doreen moves off into her own journey. Now, the thing is, a lot of us change our direction in life, don't we? We change our journey. So the idea of being thoughtful is, I think, very, very nice. Now, that's very different than the way that I would interpret the Waite Smith Queen of Coins, that's for sure. Crossed by the King of Water. Trustworthy, compassionate, respected, and cultured. Just let me start with that. Again, very different than what I would do with the Rider Waite, but we're worried, aren't we, whether or not we can trust this deck anymore, because one of its founders has moved on to something else and has said that tarot is no longer for her and it is not something we should pursue, and it's, I believe she's gone so far as to say it could be very harmful for us. So we're having issues with trust as it relates to this particular deck. It also says, open your heart and mind to those around you, trustworthy and heartfelt advice and charity work. Okay, so a couple of things come to me here. One is we're having difficulty opening our hearts and minds as it relates to the Angel Tarot as a deck that we would actually use. I get it. I happen to have a love for it because it's been in my experience for a very long time, and I love pulling cards from it. Here's the other thing. We've got the Queen of Earth and the King of Water. This one asking you to do more charity work. This one feeling much more like, oh, no, I've got it going on. Like, I want to sell my tarot readings. I don't want to do charity work anymore. But we're back and forth, aren't we? Because spiritually we're thinking we would like to give of ourselves a little bit. We do want to help other people, and yet, oh, we know we have to take care of ourselves. We have got to bring in money. They still want money at the grocery store, folks. So if we want to be professional tarot readers or any other spiritual practice, we have to be very grounded and practical about it. And we're crossed with whether or not we actually trust that. So again, very different than Rider Waite, but an interesting message nonetheless. What should we do about it? Now look, we get the Nine of Earth. That is the Nine of Coins. That's just all about being your own free-flowing business person, isn't it? Enjoy life's little luxuries, spend quiet time alone, successful self-employment. Okay, so this is saying, hey, it's perfectly okay for you to be self-employed and to accept money for your services. You needn't feel the guilt, you needn't feel the guilt of having to do everything for charity, okay? Don't give yourself away. Serve yourself first. I have a very good friend who just recently reminded me of that. Serve yourself first, right, my dear friend Shiloh? So that's the advice that the Angel Tarot is giving you. And what should we release? Oh, well, we should release the end of a phase or situation, spiritual transformation, time to move on. Folks, let's let Doreen be Doreen, and we're all going to be who we are. Let's support Radleigh as he goes forward with full ownership of this particular deck, and let's let it go. Let's let it transform into something else. It's still a phenomenal deck, and regardless of what we have thought about Doreen now or in the past or what we will find in the future, I think we need to make space for people to transform without judgment. Okay, so don't fight the spiritual transformation that's going on for another person as you are on your own spiritual journey. Okay, and at the bottom of the deck, oh gosh, I'm just going to have to tell you, this is one of those cards that I don't really love. It's an actual picture of Doreen. Really, like I said, didn't enjoy that about the imagery, but your wishes come true, concerns fade away, a love of life. So at the basis of all of this, I think it's really interesting that Doreen comes up to show herself to us, and it really does say, hey folks, I am living my wishes fulfilled. My concerns about this are gone. I'm loving life. And the message is for us all to do the same and to be able to use this powerful tool in this beautiful deck, despite the controversy that might be going on. Let's release it. Let's just let it go. Let's not resist that. Now, I will tell you that the Angel Tarot I have never read with reversals, even though I do normally read reversals. It's not part of the system that they have set up for this particular deck. So I rarely have I ever read with reversals, and mostly because I think it's so hard to read the images in the first place. Okay, so there you have it. That is the Angel Tarot. I'm sure you can get it on Amazon. Here's the backs of the deck I didn't show you earlier. It's Archangel Michael. Again, I think it's big, and so it's a little hard to shuffle, a little bit awkward, but I like the messages. Oh, there you go. Angel Tarot brings you an exciting new opportunity, career advancement. Change your life now. So do it. Change your perspective. If it's not the Angel Tarot, that's okay. Change your perspective on something else. Something that you felt was unapproachable to you. Time to look at it from a new perspective. All right? I hope you've enjoyed this. Thank you so much for spending time with me. I'll talk to you soon.